I have my dark is my red, my medium is my pink, and I don't have a light pink chalk pastel in this set, so I'm going to use white in this case. White can always be your light if you don't have a light color, okay? So when I work with chalk pastel, I'm not going to hold it like I would hold a pencil. I'm actually going to hold it on its side, and I'm going to very lightly, very lightly get some color down. Now I'm not pushing. Do you see a lot of dust fall out here? There's no dust piles, right? I don't want a ton of product on here, otherwise I'm not going to get a good blend. Okay. Now similarly to colored pencils, we're going to overlap a little bit. Okay, I'm barely pushing, guys. You don't need to push hard at all. I'm going to overlap a little bit here. Okay. All right, so now I have my 3 values. Now, unlike colored pencils, those wouldn't blend if I just kind of put them down like that, right? Chalk pastels have more movement. So I'm going to take a finger and I want to blend from dark to light. I don't want to bring my white up or you're going to wash everything out. I want to blend from dark to light. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my finger in small circular strokes. I'm doing circles because it gets rid of this back and forth mark that I made. And I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to keep going like that. Otherwise, I'm going to ruin my blend. Okay. I can go back up and blend more. Okay. Now, if I want something brighter than this, then I add more layers, just like colored pencils. So we're not using pressure to add brightness, we're using layers. Circular strokes all the way down. So now I've kind of created a value scale here, okay? Now if I were to do 3 different colors, I'm going to do a monochromatic blend. So that's dark green, light green, and then I actually might blend that into yellow. So part of that's going to be analogous. I'm going to take my dark color. Again, I'm holding it on the side, and I'm barely pressing down on the paper. I don't want a lot of dust. Okay, now here's the deal. I've got messy hands, right? If I take my same fingers I used to blend this, am I going to get pink and red into this blend? Yes, that's where your paper towel comes in. Wipe off your hands, make sure they're dry. You'll have a little bit of staining. That's fine, that's not going to go anywhere. That won't come off on your piece. And again, I'm going to take circular strokes and work my way down. Okay. And again, if I want something nice and bright, I add more layers, I don't push. Okay, and then I've got my blend there. When I want to change colors, I take my damp paper towel, I clean everything off as best I can, and I go from there. Okay, let me show you what happens though if you push really hard. One, you have a tendency to break the chalk pastel. But if I go like this and I push really hard, look at all of this fallout that I'm getting, all of this extra dust that's going to get all over your paper. It's going to ruin your blends that you've already done. Now for practice, it might not be that big of a deal, but for your final it is. Okay, so you do not want to push hard. Also, you're wasting material. You don't need this. So you're going to be wasting the chalk pastel when you don't need as much. Okay, so nice light side strokes, nice light circular blending strokes. You don't need to push down on the paper at all. It moves quite freely. It's very flexible. Okay, all right, so each person is going to need a black piece of paper. Don't move yet. Each table is going to get a bag of chalk pastels. The chalk pastels are in the student materials cabinet. All right, now Your chalk pastels, when they're all mixed together and not in a box, they tend to look dirty. So just look at them really carefully, make sure you know what color they are. You can always test it out. This is why we're practicing. All right, so go ahead and get started.